All right, let's dive into latent view analytics.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this, you probably already know a bit about them, but
Right.
we want to give you a really clear picture of their performance in the second quarter of FY25.
Absolutely.
And to do that, we've gone through their reports, presentations, investor documents, all that good stuff,
All of it. Yeah.
trying to pull out, the stuff that really
The
matters.
key insights for sure.
So for those who maybe aren't as familiar,
Yeah.
Latent View is an Indian company
hmm
really making waves in data analytics.
Absolutely. They're a major player.
They offer solutions across all sorts of different industries.
Yeah, they're not just niche focused. They're pretty broad.
And their second quarter just wrapped up on September 30th, 2024.
Fresh out of the oven, these numbers.
So we're going to break down, what went well, what were some of the challengers,
The good, the bad, the whole 9 yards.
and what we think this might mean for their future.
Exactly. So buckle up. It's going to be a good one.
All right, so let's jump right into the financials.
Let's do it.
It seems like they've been doing pretty darn well.
Yeah, they have. I mean, what's really impressive is their revenue growth.
Yeah, I was looking at those numbers.
Instead of like slowing down like some of the tech sector are, they've actually gone 1.5x on their revenues since fiscal year 22.
Wow, that's huge.
It's significant, yeah. And it's not a one-time thing either. They're estimated to be at about 84.7 million right now.
That's not chump change.
No, not at all. And what's really interesting is that 76% of their revenue comes from clients they've had for over 5 years.
So they're really building these long-term relationships.
It's not just chasing the next big contract. It's about building solid partnerships.
That's a really good sign for stability.
Absolutely. It shows they're in it for the long haul.
So it's not just growth for growth's sake, but how about profitability? Are they actually making money?
Oh, yeah, they are. They've managed to boost both their EBITDA and PAT, which is profit after tax.
For those of us who, aren't financial wizards,
All right, we don't all speak Wall Street.
could you break those down a little bit?
Sure, sure. So EBITDA, that's basically a measure of profitability before you factor in stuff like interest, taxes, depreciation, and all that.
Okay, so the nitty-gritty operational stuff.
Exactly. Gives you a clearer picture of how they're doing just on their core operations.
Gotcha.
And the fact that both EBITDA and PAT are going up, that tells us they're getting more efficient as they grow.
That's a really good sign.
Yeah, they're not just spending more to make more. They're actually getting better at what they do.
Okay, so they're growing, they're profitable. What's driving all this success?
Well, you got to look at the bigger picture. There's this massive, massive demand for data analytics and AI solutions worldwide.
Yeah, everyone's talking about AI these days.
It's not just hype. The projections are crazy. They're saying this market is going to hit like $165 billion by 2026.
Wow, that's a lot of zeros.
Yeah, it's enormous. And Latent View, they seem to be in a prime position to capitalize on that.
They're right in the sweet spot, it seems.
They are. They've got the expertise, they've got the track record, and they're making smart moves.
Like that Decision Point acquisition they just made?
Yeah, they shelled out a hefty sum for that one, 3,325 million INR.
That's a big investment. What's the thinking there?
So Decision Point, they're specialists in AI-driven business transformation and revenue growth management.
Okay, so they're bringing some serious expertise to the table.
They are. And this acquisition, it's a strategic move to really cement their position in the consumer packaged goods and retail sector.
That's a hot market right now.
It is. It's all about understanding consumer behavior.
And using data to do it.
Exactly, and that's where data analytics shines. So this move, it's a clear signal they're serious about this market.
And they're not just, dipping their toes in the water.
No, they're going all in. They're already working with over 5 global giants in that sector after the acquisition.
They're moving fast.
Yeah, they're not wasting any time.
But they're not just, riding the AI wave. They're also innovating with their own solutions.
Absolutely.
Like Beagle GPT, that's their thing, right?
That's right, yeah.
Tell me more about that.
Well, Beagle GPT, it's actually pretty fascinating. It's a GPT-based analytics product.
Okay.
But the cool thing is it integrates right into the Microsoft Teams environment.
Oh, so it's where people are already working.
Exactly. They're bringing cutting-edge AI to where people are already collaborating.
That's a smart move.
It is. It's about making AI accessible and actionable for everyday business decisions.
So it's not just this, abstract technology. It's actually something that people can use to make their jobs easier.
Exactly. That's the goal.
But, no business operates in a vacuum.
True, true.
We've got to talk about the elephant in the room.
What's that?
The global economic uncertainty.
Ah, yes. How do you see that potentially impacting Latent View going forward.
It's definitely a factor.
Everyone's feeling it, right?
Yeah, you can't ignore it. It could lead to budget cuts, slower decision-making, all that.
Yeah, companies are going to be more cautious, for sure. But, even with all that latent view, they're still remarkably ambitious.
Really?
Yeah, they're aiming for 200 to 220 million in revenue by fiscal year 2027-28.
Wow, that's a bold target.
It is, it is. But they seem to have a plan.
So how do they plan on getting there? What's their game plan?
Well, their strategy's kind of got a few parts to it.
Okay.
First off, they're like doubling down, right,
Mm.
on high growth areas within data analytics.
Makes sense. Go where the money is.
Exactly. So they're talking about AML, advanced analytics, expecting like 45% growth there.
Wow.
And then data engineering, another big one, around 30% growth, they're thinking.
So they're really focusing, honing in on those key areas.
Becoming the experts, right?
Yeah, but could there be downsides to that? I mean, what if they miss something else, putting all their eggs in one basket, so to speak?
That's a great point. It's a balance, right?
Yeah.
You got to specialize, but also keep an eye out.
Right.
So their second part of the strategy helps with that a bit.
Oh, okay. What's that?
It's what they call vertical focus.
Okay.
Basically, they want to dominate in specific industries.
Makes sense. Get really good at one thing.
Exactly. So they're looking at BFSI, that's banking, financial services, and insurance.
Okay.
Big one there, expecting 35% growth.
Wow, it's a lot.
And then retail CPG, another 30% they're projecting there.
So they're not just like data experts. They're like retail data experts, banking data experts.
Exactly. It's a niche within a niche.
Yeah.
Gives them an edge.
Yeah, makes them really valuable.
And then the final piece is, geography.
Oh, going global.
Yeah, they're looking at Asia Pacific, specifically growth through hubs in the Gulf Cooperation Council.
Okay, so GCC. Got it.
So global expansion, specializing, and then deep industry knowledge. That's their path to those big revenue numbers.
Yeah, it sounds like a pretty solid strategy.
It does, right.
But let's zoom out for a second.
Okay.
Let's talk about some of the broader trends.
The big picture stuff.
Exactly. So they had their Investor Day presentation recently.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff in there.
What were some of the key takeaways, the stuff that really stood out?
Well, one of the big things was, that data analytics market. It's still booming.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier.
Still projecting 165 billion by 2026, like we said.
That's a lot of data.
It is, but here's the interesting part. They're saying 40 to 45% of that, it's going to be outsourced.
Oh, so companies aren't going to do it themselves?
Some will, but a lot are going to realize it's better to get the experts in.
Like latent view.
Exactly. Focus on your core business. Leave the data to the pros.
Like hiring a consultant for a specific project.
Perfect analogy. That's exactly it.
So within that market, did they talk about any, specific shifts, anything changing?
Yeah, they talked about the rise of they called AI-led analytics.
Oh, interesting. What's that?
So traditional analytics, it's kind of like, you have a problem, you get the data, you build a model to answer that problem.
Very specific.
Right. But AI-led analytics, it's more exploratory. It can handle huge data sets, unstructured data, stuff that's messy.
And find insights you wouldn't even know to look for.
Exactly. It's like instead of a calculator, you have a supercomputer.
More powerful, but also, I imagine, more complex.
Oh, yeah. But the output's different, too.
How so?
So traditional analytics, you might get a report, some charts, right?
Yeah, static stuff.
AI-led analytics, you can get visualizations, explanations in plain language.
So it's not just numbers, it's actually telling you what it means.
Exactly. It makes it way easier to understand and actually use the insights.
Yeah, that makes sense. So AI is really changing the game.
It is. It's a big part of why Latent View is focusing on it so much.
And they talked about, aligning their expertise with specific industries, right?
Yes, they're horizontals x verticals strategy.
Name.
So they're taking their capabilities like AML, advanced analytics, all that,
Yeah.
and matching them to specific industries like BFSI, retail CPG, technology, all sorts.
So it's like they have the AML experts and then the AML experts for banking.
Exactly. They become specialists within a specialty.
Makes them even more valuable.
That's the idea. So are you ready to dig into their concrete plans for the next few years?
Yeah, let's get into the nitty-gritty.
Okay, so during their Investor Day, they laid out some key priorities.
All right, what are they focused on?
Well, a few things. They're going to expand their marketing analytics capabilities,
Okay.
moving towards a data-driven marketing model,
Makes sense. Got to practice what you preach.
right? And then they're going to keep pushing on generative AI, creating scalable solutions.
Jenny, AI, that's the buzzword these days.
It is. Everyone's talking about it.
What are they doing with it specifically?
So they've got this product called Raise, And they're using that to deliver Gen AI-powered solutions.
Okay, but what does that actually mean, in the real world?
Sure. So imagine a retail company.
Okay.
They want to personalize their marketing.
Right. Everyone wants to do that.
So they use Latent View solution. It analyzes customer data, recommends products.
Tailored to each person.
Exactly. It can even write the marketing copy, personalized for you.
Wow, that's pretty powerful.
It is. It's about using AI to create solutions that actually impact the business.
Not just crunching numbers, but making them meaningful.
Exactly.
So it's not just Gen AI either, right?
No, they're also working with Databricks, strengthening that partnership.
Oh yeah, Databricks, they're the big data guys.
Yeah, cloud data solutions, leaders in the field.
So Latent View's clients get access to that.
That's the idea, combining their AI with top-notch cloud platforms.
A powerful combination.
It is. And then they also mentioned expanding their nearshore centers.
Oh, what's that about?
So they're looking at Canada, Mexico, LATAM, those areas.
Okay.
It's about better supporting your clients in those regions.
Being closer to the action.
Exactly. Understanding their needs better.
Makes sense. And they're still investing in training, right?
Oh, absolutely. Talent upskilling is huge for them.
Got to keep the team sharp.
They're running L&D partnerships, in-house boot camps, the whole 9 yards.
Got to keep up with the technology.
Exactly. This data world, it's changing so fast.
So all this is great, but it's got to come with some challenges too, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
We talked about the global economic climate. That's a big one.
Can't ignore that.
But what about competition? I mean, as this data market grows.
More players are going to jump in.
Exactly. So how does Latent View stay ahead of the curve? What are they doing to stay on top?
Well, they're doing a few things. First off, it's all about innovation.
Keep pushing the boundaries.
Exactly. Like we talked about Beagle GPT, Gen AI.
Yeah.
That's how they stay ahead.
Offer something others don't.
Right. The cutting edge stuff, that's their differentiator.
But technology is only part of the equation.
Oh, absolutely. It's the people, too.
Gotta have the right team.
They're investing heavily in that, making sure their people can actually use this tech, understand it.
It's not just about having the tools. It's about knowing how to wield them.
Exactly. Got to translate that data into insights, make it actionable.
Otherwise, it's just a bunch of numbers.
Exactly. And they're not just focused on the tech skills either.
Oh, what else?
They're pushing strategic consulting, helping clients figure out how to use data to achieve their goals.
So it's not just here's the data, it's here's what you do with it.
Exactly. They become trusted advisors, not just data crunchers.
That's a good position to be in.
It is. And then, of course, there's the industry focus we talked about.
Right. BFSI, retail, CPG, all that.
That gives them a deep understanding of those sectors. They can tailor solutions.
They're not just generic data experts, they're experts for that specific industry.
Right. They speak the client's language, understand their pain points.
That makes them much more valuable.
Exactly. So it's the tech, the people, the consulting, and the industry knowledge. That's how they stay ahead.
It sounds like a winning formula.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
So we've covered a lot about Latent View today.
Yeah, their financials, their strategy, their plans for the future.
Lots to digest.
But why does this matter for the average person listening?
Well, it's a glimpse into the future, really.
The future of data.
Yeah, how it's impacting businesses and eventually all of us as consumers.
It's everywhere these days.
It is. And Latent View's journey shows how important data-driven decisions are becoming.
It's not just a tech thing anymore. It's a business imperative.
Absolutely. Companies that embrace data, they're the ones that are going to thrive.
It's about using data intelligently to solve problems, find opportunities.
Exactly. Creating value. That's the key.
Their move into CPG and retail, that was interesting. What does that mean for consumers?
Well, think about it. Hyper-personalized shopping experiences.
Everything tailored to you.
Exactly. Products you want, offers you need, all based on your data.
Sounds convenient, but also kind of scary, privacy and all that.
That's the balance, right? Convenience versus privacy.
It's a conversation we need to have as a society.
Absolutely. How much data do we share? What are we getting in return?
It's something to think about.
And this deep dive into Latent View, it's given us a lot to ponder.
It has. It's not just about one company. It's about the bigger picture.
Exactly how data is shaping our world.
And Latent View, they're not just riding the wave, they're shaping it.
They are. Their innovation, their focus on people, their strategy. It's impressive.
So as we wrap up, we'll leave you with this thought.
Okay, hit us with it.
In a world increasingly driven by data, what role do you want to play?
That's a good one. Are you going to be passive or are you going to engage?
The future's being written with data, or are you going to be a part of it?
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, folks. Lots to think about.
Until next time.